Ignite the torment in your soul. It's calling you. I know who I am.
Alrighty. Just gonna see. Gonna wait a little bit. Let's get to the proper thing here. There we go. Alrighty, how's everyone doing if there's more than just one person here? It's a surprisingly busy night. I mean, we have Undead Chronic streaming, we have Saturn Senshi streaming, celebrating her 2K subscriber milestone. We have, well, me streaming, and then later on, Mass Ho Reports is going to be streaming. If you don't know who Mass Troll Reports is, she basically was the one to expose Cyrax as a Pete O. She's actually having a, I think the brother of some kid that who died, and basically just, you know, showing him who Cyrax is, and is like, oh, why is this guy claiming that he's such good friends with my brother? You know, stuff like that. Oh, man. It's a interesting night. Quite the packed Saturday night, too, if you ask me. Alrighty. Yeah, might have seen me fiddle around with OBS. I was very much rushing, but we got everything. We got everything good. Let's see. So, if it will load. There we go. Sorry, I think I just had it minimized. Should show up, even if it's minimized. But, alrighty. So, tonight on the ScurvyRum show, let's roast some thoughts and beta males, shall we? It's a favorite passion of mine. Our first video of the night, Opponents of Ziz, The Necessity of Exercise Trends, by Glitch Poachers. He's a friend of Manic. We've watched some of his stuff before on the channel. All good shit. Our article of the night, Don't Hate the Beta Male, by The Rational Male, aka Rolled Up Tomato, Rollo Tomasi. And our next video of the night, Lana Rhodes is no longer retired, but by our very own Ribby the Party Frog. And for our regular cancellation, I don't mind picking on Thots and Beta Male some more. And also, I'm just going to make it a little change here, because I do read chat quite a bit. But yeah, new policy. If you send me something through Cashapp, you know, Cashapp/cash sign ScurvyRum, yeah, I'll read that after we're done with the segment. Apologies, I am a little beat today. Muay Thai really... The class was simple today, but it really did whoop my ass. Actually, there's going to be a short little opening segment. I've decided that. So, thoughts and beta males. Actually, hold on, I almost forgot. I need to take a shot. I'm such a klutz. Whew. Oh, boy. Good shit. Good shit. Anyways, let's roast some thoughts and some beta male, shall we? Just gonna give you a bit of a primer on each. We're going all National Geographic on this. Thoticus Americanus. Nah, just kidding. We're not going David Attenborough. But yeah, if I were to choose one that pisses me off more, I would say it's the beta males. Thots are gonna thought, but beta males are just some of the worst. Why? Because a beta male will betray you, even if it means for them to get the slightest shred of mediocre puniti. That's a big reason why I don't like them. they also just don't have any character. They're spineless cowards, and they also are just weak people. It could be physically, mentally, or both. As for Thots, the reason why I don't like Thots is pretty simple. Scurvy does not like promiscuity. It's that simple. If you're a chick who gives it up after the first date, or just a chick who gives it up in general for money, validation, whatever, you're not worth my time. Simple as is. But the funny thing is, Thots and beta males kinda need each other. And by kinda, I mean they very much do need each other. The validation and attention from beta males is what keeps Thots from, actually acting traditional. They're the ones who enable the thot. But the thot also needs the beta male because the thot is a validation addict and a social media addict. So there's that. But that being said, let's get started here. Let's start roasting the beta males, the weak men. All right. Yeah. So we have a video from Glitch Poachers here, friend of Manic. Hold on 1 second. All right, 1 second, fellas. Didn't mean to start abruptly. Okay, apologies for that, fellas. My old man just needed to get the trash. Anyways, so I have a video here from Manic's friend Glitch Poachers, opponents of Ziz, the necessity of exercise trends. It's kind of obvious what it's about. It's primarily a more fitness-focused video, so to speak, but it does talk about beta males. So let's get started.
Find fit.
There's so many better things to do than exercise.
So it's okay to be weak. Why?
Hold on.
There's so
Let's go
I
back
have
a
no.
little.
We go find fit.
Sorry.
I have no joy.
They are worker ants.
There's so
They
many
are
better
worker
things to do than exercise.
So it's okay to be weak.
Why would I do something that's gonna fail?
Hey man, you're shaking it all wrong.
And really redefining what it means to be a man.
Hey man, you're shaking it all wrong. My goodness. This guy could use the help of Jake the dog.
Let me show you how it's done.
Strong men build society. That's just a disclaimer.
Today we will be discussing the reject modernity trend on YouTube and, more importantly, the villains to that movement. I think it's more than safe to say that Ziz has become the face of this movement. To put it as briefly as possible, Ziz went from World of Warcraft player to bodybuilding legend. Unfortunately, Ziz passed away at the young age of 22 in 2011. If you're curious about Ziz's past, I recommend checking out SunnyV2's video he recently posted.
Yeah, honestly, Ziz is such a legend. Like, holy shit. Like, really, he is a legend in the bodybuilding community. Mainly because of just his dedication to the sport, but also, yeah, I believe, I forget if he was natty or not, but, yeah, his death was rather tragic. Like, in terms of the impact that it had, I mean, Ziz is still remembered to this day. Most dead, like actual dead YouTubers, like, they're not remembered for as long. I mean, obviously, you know, they were still remembered by their families and whatnot, but Ziz is still an icon.
Posted. In this video, however, we are going to be talking about the impact Ziz had on the YouTube community, as well as the people who are currently trying to oppose the exercise movement. There have been a lot of YouTube channels that
Also, the fact that there needs to be an exercise movement, it goes to show just how fat, lazy, and stupid the West has become. It really is. Because most people in this country are fat, lazy, and stupid. It's just the facts. Like, you know, I am in a normal BMI. Say what you want about BMI, you know, not being the most accurate thing. It's mainly not accurate when it comes to, like, building muscle. But when it comes to fat people, it's actually not a bad tool. Not a bad tool at all. But the fact that, you know, there needs to be a movement to counteract all the fat acceptance bullshit, it's like, it's really telling. Also, the quote-unquote exercise movement is grassroots, because it is a reaction to all the astroturfed health at every size bullshit.
dedicated to posting content in this format, examples being Balkan Gains, Xanders, and LKE Productions.
Give
Two
those
channels
guys a
that
sub.
have put their own spin on this format are Arcdelio and GigaCheddar, and I highly recommend checking them out. Videos in
Yeah, give all 5 of those guys your sub.
this format are usually around 40 seconds to 2 minutes. They start off with a potential excuse or distraction. A clip of Ziz of sorts will often play
What the fuck, bruv?
right before the hardstyle kicks in. From there, it's all muscle and motivation, inspiration and
Yeah.
intellect, progress and protein. While this trend is repetitive and formulaic like any other trend on YouTube, I gotta say, at least it's positive. At least it's promoting a message of good health.
That's the thing. There's a reason why channels like Balkan Gains get the amount of subscriptions that they do. It's because it's actual motivation without the bullshit. Most channels these days is like, when it comes to motivation, it's like, they don't know how to do it. But channels like Balkan Gains, like they actually, you know, they could also help somebody, you know, stay accountable on their fitness journey or whatnot. It's like, yeah, you might have fallen off the horse, but get back on that saddle. Life, you know, there's a good thing about starting over, stuff like that. Night Llama says, Ziz was on roids, but in a year he went from a skinny wow dude to ripped. We're all gonna make it, bruh. and you know, I do find it kind of funny. You know, I used to play WoW myself. I recently quit. I have a whole video about that. Give it a watch. But I think I'm going to do things the natural way. I have no reason to do steroids. But yeah, that was his transformation was pretty insane. But it's so unfortunate that he died so young. It really is. But yeah, thank you, Night Llama, for the comment.
Say what you will about exercise memes, they never convinced anybody to eat Tide Pods. So, a YouTube trend focusing on exercising and achieving your goals. Who could oppose that? Actually, quite a few people.
In terms of the quite a few people, it's largely women, mainly feminists, fat people, and beta males.
Truly redefining what it means to be a
Ugh.
man. They are useless without us. They
Bro, what the fuck are these nails? They're They're like claws. They're not even nails anymore. They're fucking claws. And this is the guy who people listen to. Look, I know, no shit against you, Glitch, but I don't really see much of a trapezius on you. But this guy doesn't have any trapezius muscles on him. I just see skin and bone. This guy is a weakling, and yet he has an influence. Oh man, thankfully, you know, he is being documented by libs of TikTok. Say what you want about her, but she does a decent job. And Clown World does a good job at this too. Night Llama says 100% never go with roids, but his transformation in a year that everyone deemed impossible, and he actually did it. That's why he's remembered. Okay, yeah. And rightfully so. Even if it's not natty, it's like it. Rightfully so. He absolutely has the right to be remembered for that. Like, that's insane. Like, he put, like, and it wasn't just the roids, but he also put in a shitload of hard work. Like, if you've seen his workout videos or whatnot, it's like he was serious about it too. Like, he wasn't just doing it to get big, but he was trying. He really was putting in his all, and that is extremely, extremely commendable.
It can't do nothing. It's okay to be weak.
It's okay to be weak. Look at this guy. He is, if I were to put an estimate, probably at least 350 pounds. Actually, no, he's bigger than Nikocado. And Nikocado is like, what, 400 pounds now? Like, this guy and Nick are ginormous. They are ginormous. How does this not cause any pain to his joints? Not to mention his dorky looking fucking glasses. And also, he doesn't have a good sense of fashion. It's just like, those fucking stripes, man. I know stripes have the horizontal stripes have the effect to actually make you look thinner. Like, this is something Chris Chan never really understood. You know, he likes the vertical stripes, not the horizontal. He'd actually could have looked a little bit thinner with horizontal stripes. But, no, this guy cannot pull that off. He just can't.
I'm not gonna be submissive.
Life's too short to exercise.
Diets are 95% failure rate. Why would I do something that's...
Okay, in terms of what this chick is saying about the diet and all that, it's just like, honestly, most diets are not the most effective. Like, especially if it's like some fad diet. But, you know, there are some pretty consistent stuff. I mean, you know, you could always try keto or paleo. That's not a bad choice at all. It's just you have to be consistent with the lifestyle. You can't just start eating shit ton of junk food, which that's the thing. Most of these people don't want to give up the junk food. It's pretty easy for me to do that. It's going to be even easier. So my grocery bills are going to be pretty cheap by the time I move out, because it's going to be a lot of meat, fruit, some vegetables. Probably more so the root ones. The green ones, yeah, the human body can actually go without that. But the extra rufflage, so to speak, doesn't hurt. It's just there's just better vegetables out there.
gonna fail.
This is Angelina. She was in a Miley Cyrus music.
Gross. Gross. Ugh. So already this bitch has I could tell several skin conditions. Lipedema, lymphedema, probably all that shit, right? How is this healthy? How is any of this healthy? Like, these people can never answer that question. How is, you know, because that's part of the stance, is that, you know, health at any size. And any size includes this. How is this healthy? Can you explain how load-bearing joints are a good thing?
music video, which sparked a debate on whether or not this is promoting an unhealthy lifestyle. She went on Good Morning Britain to talk about body image and the entertainment industry.
We've had all this with Tess Holliday. She's on the cover of Cosmo, and it's all celebrated. There's no mention of it being a dangerous weight.
Honestly, if you were really concerned about people being obese, you would take yourself off the air because you're not exactly slim yourself.
Well,
right?
okay, I'm 220 pounds and I'm 6'1".
Okay, Piers is a little bit overweight, but the problems don't start if, you know, I've actually been fat throughout my life. My heaviest was like 230 pounds, and I'm like 6'2". I'm like 211 now, but basically, it's like it's okay to be at most 5 pounds, you know, overweight, so to speak. If it's, you know, if it's not muscle. If that shit ain't muscle, then, yeah. But if you're bulking up, you know, a lot of that is gonna be muscle. Muscle does weigh more than fat. But it's like, yeah, you know, Piers probably could, you know, settle down with the junk food and all that. But, yeah. Night Llama says, who the fuck did, she, let's see, sorry. Don't mean to butcher your comment here. Who the fuck she thinks she is? Ice Spice? Nah, she is Whale Spice. Alrighty, boys, we're gonna be going whaling today. I got me harpoon. Well, not down there, but, cause good lord, my orange straw has completely retracted inside my body. I don't know, I don't get chubby chasers, not gonna lie. I don't fucking get chubby chasers.
Right, you're 5'4" and you're 380 pounds.
That's a problem right there. 5'4", 300 pounds? Did he say, hold on, let's go back.
20 pounds and I'm 6'1", right? You're 5'4" and you're 380 pounds.
380 pounds? What the? That might. I think that's on par with Nikocado avocado. Dude, like, what the fuck? People eat themselves to an art. People are eating themselves to an early grave because societal propaganda is telling them, "Oh, this is healthy." No, it's not. No, it's not. And there's people who are much more knowledgeable on the whole obesity thing than I. Take Alan Roberts. I'm giving him a shout out again. Not the first time I gave him a shout out, but take a look at his channel. That's what his channel is all about. It's like teaching people that obesity is not a good thing. But even then, it's like, once again, who do you? I got a question for y'all. Who do you, aside from you know, other fat women, who else is giving, you know, these ginormous fucking people enough validation and copium? Hint, it starts with a B. Well, I'll leave it at that. Let's see. How the fuck she eat that much, says Night Llama. I don't know. I think it's obviously, you know, it's a binge eating disorder, like very much that. You could tell a lot of fat people are just, they binge eat. And not to mention what they eat is just awful.
I think that if you were really concerned about glorifying obesity, you would take yourself off the air.
But I'm not obese. Period. It's just a statistical medical fact.
You're fat, though.
You're fat.
This bitch calling Piers Morgan fat. No, he's barely overweight. At least in that interview, he's just barely overweight.
Though.
This is a perfect example of the body positivity movement going far beyond the realms of reality. Because there are different demographics for news and music videos, there are going to be different standards of beauty there. News media just isn't as glamorous as the pop music industry, where being glamorous is pretty much the entire point. The fact we're talking more about who's in these music videos rather than the quality of the music itself just goes to show how little the music industry has to do with music. They're selling
basically
an image, they're selling glamour. That's why there's a difference. While I would imagine more conventionally attractive people do have an easier time getting a job as a news anchor,
in general, the more conventionally attractive people do have an easier time in life as a whole. It's just like, still, it's best that you're not way over what you're supposed to be at in terms of weight. BMI exists for a reason, people, and we're not talking about those who actually have muscle. Because BMI, it starts getting wonky when, you know, you're an actual, like, bodybuilder or whatnot. But for most people, they are not bodybuilders. They just aren't. And so BMI can actually be quite accurate there. However, once again, the majority of the population, or a good majority of the population, is fat, weak, and stupid.
it's not the #1 priority in that job. People need to be able to speak consistently and clearly. A dancer in a music video, the only thing they're doing there is moving and being looked at. So yes, there's going to be a different standard of beauty there. More importantly, the very second Angelina got an opportunity to hurl that insult back at the news anchor, she took it. So obviously she doesn't care about making fun of people's weight or caring.
Like that's the thing. The whole fat acceptance movement it's all just a bunch of fucking hypocrisy. Cuz as soon as you make fun of them for how they weigh, it's like something internally goes on in their head. It's like, oh, now I need to call them out for their weight. That'll show them. That'll prove my weak argument. That's literally how these people think. Like, they think and act like children because it's kind of where their brain is stuck at. It's like childhood. It's unfortunate that bad things have happened to them, but still, it's like you are accountable for your own actions. It is what it is. The same thing also goes for the beta males as well. I noticed that they're not the biggest fans of accountability either.
Caring about people's body positivity. She just wants to be able to insult people without being insulted in return. Angelina is trying to obtain power without...
Night Llama says, believe the reason why we mostly have gotten fat as a population is due to not having that many physical labor jobs. Even the current ones are getting softer. Yeah, that's true. We also did move away from a largely physical labor market to a more, you know, sitting in an office, or, you know, you're just standing in a fast, in a, you're a line cook basically or whatnot. You're not really moving, you're doing more standing. But, things have been invented historically that kind of can counteract that lifestyle. It's just like, just go for a walk, go to the gym, learn some martial arts. I would love to have a bigger Muay Thai class, if you ask me.
Taking any responsibility. But responsibility and power are intrinsically tied to one another. You can't have one without the other. This is an article sometimes shown in fitness videos. About a year ago, the publication Only Feminists wrote an article called Dear Men.
Dear men, stop working out. Oh my goodness, we want men to be our simps. We view you as beneath us. That's basically, I remember seeing that article, like, in circulation. It was a fucking train wreck. It's a poorly written article, and it's basically, I have a feeling it's this author, whoever wrote this, it's like this author's, like, fetish piece of trying to make men submissive.
Stop working out. Physical fitness creates a cycle of toxic masculinity that must be eradicated. One of the main tactics used by those in power of a male-driven society is the exploitation of physical strength. Yeah, why would we want to exploit people's physical strength to maintain infrastructure? That's just so silly. You know what a synonym of exploit is? Utilize. Western governments use
Utilize and exploit, like, they are synonyms, but they have different connotations, you know? And, exploit, bad thing, utilize, good, right? But basically, in terms of strength, that's something that can be utilized to help, societal infrastructure. Literally, what the woman who wrote that article is saying, it's just like, well, we don't care about infrastructure. It's just always going to be working. So she's basically thinking, like, she's not even thinking about the processes that go on in society that keep us from just collapsing. And even those are starting to get a little thin.
propaganda to perpetuate a narrative that men must work out and maintain a level of physical fitness if they want to be respected in society. This belief was created purposefully as a way to ensure that the patriarchal agenda lives on by continuing to force women into submission via intimidation. If certain people getting healthier is intimidating to you, they are
alright, I'll let him finish his point.
are not the problem. You are.
Exactly. You are the problem if you think people getting into better shape is a bad thing. It's always a good thing if the population is strong and healthy. It's a bad thing when a population is weak and defenseless and fat. It's not a good thing. That's when societal collapse starts to happen.
Women are, on average, intellectually superior to men.
Before we continue, something else that just kind of popped into my head. It's just like, oh fuck! I think that thought just evaded me. Oh yeah, you think a bunch of fat, lazy, entitled, weak slobs are capable of running a strong and safe society? I don't think so. And the fact is, I'm going to keep repeating this. A good majority of the United States population, and even some of the Western population, is fat, weak, and stupid. Those are things that do not make for a strong society, but easily allow for authoritarian tyranny.
I've seen some studies say that women are smarter. I've seen some studies say that there's really not a difference. The main point is we don't have a good enough understanding of intellect or intelligence to be measuring one gender against another. The IQ system is like 100 years old. This intellectual maturity allows them to have a greater hold on their emotions when faced with confrontation.
What? I've seen more women fly off the handle than even beta males have. And, beta males are the first type of person who will fly off the handle when dealing with a little bit of confrontation. That or, naturally angry people. Those do exist. But basically, I remember back in like my freshman year of college, I was talking with this chick and this guy, right? And basically, the guy was being kind of handsy around, a little handsy. And then basically, I don't know, he gave me very much like cuck vibes. I don't know how else to describe it. He gave me like cuck vibes. He was trying to come off cool, this, that, and the other, and it's just like, no, it actually came off as like, you're trying too hard, and yeah, as soon as she was like, oh yeah, men aren't shit, and it's just like, I was like, oh, okay. But he was like, oh my goodness, I'm not like other guys. And it's just like, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna walk away. Good talking with you too. I'm gonna walk away. Like seriously, that guy and that memory for some reason still has quite the hold when it comes to just the amount of sympathy I could see in a lifetime. Like in real life, not online, but in real life. It's crazy. Simps are crazy.
Comparison, the fragility of toxic masculinity creates an atmosphere where men feel the need to prove themselves as an alpha. Wait, if toxic masculinity was so fragile, why would you be constantly intimidated by it to the point where you have to convince men not to exercise?
That's the thing too. When it comes to anything written by a feminist, it's like their logic does not make any sense. And Glitch right here is able to point that out.
Studies have shown that signs of aggression in male dogs decreased exponentially following castration. Neutering your male dog has valuable behavior benefits. It can minimize numerous unwanted behaviors, prevent frustrations, and improve quality of life. The same logic can be applied here to human beings. The lower the testosterone, the happier the human being, and the safer the society.
Not true. Actually, lower testosterone men are more prone to a lot of problems. You know, they start acting and thinking like women. That's the thing. Weak men and women, they think the same way. They don't think, whether, the question for them isn't, is this true? The question for them becomes, is it okay for me to think that this is true?
Unfortunately, castration is not an option for humans at this point in time due to the lack of research in the field of synthetically engineered sperm, which is necessary for procreation. Anonymous doctor with a PhD. The difference here being, of course, we are not animals or pets. We are human beings as well, believe it or not. Like when you declaw a cat, you're not doing it for that cat's mental well-being or for their behavioral health. You're doing it because it's convenient. If we're going to start basing our morality off of convenience, then I might as well... Never mind. Never mind. To the woke males out there, you need to take accountability for your fellow man's actions.
Oh my god. Oh, of course the article ends with something like that. Of fucking course it does. They always do. They always blame men for the problems that the government causes. Or that women cause. It's so weird. And wait, this motherfucker has a Discord server? I'm not sure if Katie is entirely a woman then, huh?
And make a conscientious effort to put an end to this form of exercise. Don't remain a sheep for the rest of your life. Sincerely, a concerned feminist. Unbiased Katie. Journalist. Currently banned from Twitter. There's one more person I would like to talk about. He is a body positivity photographer named Tariq Carroll.
Being a man means being strong.
Guy.
Being strong in that sense.
Look, I know Scurvy has a bit of a high-pitched voice, but this guy... I'm a beta male. Like, seriously. If there's one thing that you could tell, even if the guy's voice is a bit on the higher pitch, if that shit don't boom, something's wrong with that guy's testosterone. My junior year roommate. This is what the guy sounded like. Actually, literally, it's like the whole, actually, but it's more nasally. Like, actually, literally, yeah, soy maxing. The guy doesn't work out. I'm not gonna rip on him for the fact that he's short. You know, short guys have it pretty rough out there. But he's not doing anything. He's not going to the gym. I don't even know if he's even working right now. I wouldn't be surprised if he wasn't, but good lord, he's very much a soilet. And I have a lot of funny stories about the guy, but I don't feel like telling him tonight. Maybe, actually no, maybe I'll tell him later, because some of that shit's funny. But let's continue.
This means being stoic, means being emotionless, and that's not real.
Strength and stoicism are most certainly real. If it weren't for those two things, I wouldn't have made the kind of progress that I have this last year. The feminist article from before tries to define masculinity as this very unwieldy and aggressive behavior, while Tariq here tries to compare it to stoicism, and both of them say those are bad things.
That's the thing. Like, beta males don't even want to acknowledge the importance of stoicism, like actually knowing why you feel the way that you do in a given moment and trying your best to control it. That's stoicism in a nutshell. But what feminists want, and by and large them want, is males to be crying ninnies, to say the least. I don't really have a word for it, but ninny is perfect here because yeah.
I'm starting to think that as long as you call something masculine, it's just seen as a bad thing. Perhaps the people who have zero interest in masculinity should stop trying so hard to define it for us.
Men can be vulnerable, that men can have feelings, that men can cry. So it's okay to be weak.
The "it's okay to be weak" line is the one that's very commonly used in exercise videos. And to that I say, it's okay to be weak. It's not okay to stay weak.
And that's a quote I think I said a few times on stream. Like, that's the thing. We all start out weak. However, through hard work and, determination and other positive and healthy masculine traits, one can become strong. There's a reason why people like Joey Swole like to help out newbies. And hey, if you're a beta who wants to become stronger, maybe you did get insulted by this video, or the stream I should say, and want to change yourself, gladly, I'll give you some good channels to listen to when it comes to fitness. I am very happy to oblige, because the weak can become strong. That's a fact.
Men are taught not to really emote or not to showcase emotion. A lot of that is rooted in toxic masculinity, and we have to do a lot of unlearning.
When somebody uses a term like unlearn, they are looking to patronize and manipulate you. In today's day and age, it's more important than ever to differentiate between genuine advice and enabling behavior. Alright, that's gonna have to do it for this.
Alrighty, so that was a pretty good video if I say so myself. Didn't really get to rip on beta males as much as I wanted to here, but we have a whole article dedicated to them. But in the meantime, let's see. Let's actually get to that article, shall we? Despite the scroll thing on my side of the screen, it's actually not an incredibly long article. So let's just jump right into it. So this is Don't Hate the Beta by the Rational Male / Rolled Up Tomato. I'm not the biggest fan of Tomasi myself, but let's see what he has to say, alright? I think it's only fair. A common refrain I hear from even some well-meaning red pill aware men is that there is some degree of disdain for the beta man in the sphere. There's not so much a rejection of apparent red pill truths as there is a schoolyard mentality when it comes to characterizing a guy as alpha or beta. This is where a lot of guys turn themselves off to the red pill community, in a sense. And turn themselves off to the red pill in a community sense. In a way, I suppose it becomes reminiscent of guys who having been bullied in their formative years by the guys, they now have a mental image of being the archetypically alpha. So it follows that concepts like amogging or running a boyfriend destroyer script is distasteful. Amogging, what the fuck does that mean? We're just gonna take a look at this one. I need to know what this definition is. Alpha male of the group. Okay, so it's just stupid pickup terminology. A lot of men, that is to say the 80% plus beta men, have likely experienced this disqualification in direct or indirect ways in their youth. Sometimes that may simply be a girl he had as one-eyed. Rolo, you don't need to use like pickup terminology. The one-nightus admittedly is pretty common. Like, you gotta write your shit so that it's actually that it probably appeals to the people that you're trying to get on board with you. Sometimes that may simply be a girl he had his one-nightus sights set on, opting for a more alpha guy after telling him she wasn't ready for a relationship. Or maybe it was more direct experience of having sand metaphorically kicked in his face. Yeah, this is how a lot of guys actually, especially guys my age, that's how we start out getting that red pill. Like, in terms of, so Better Bachelor has this quote: "The red pill is not something you take, it's a suppository." And if you don't know what a suppository is, it's something that goes up your bum. Thus it becomes a matter of course to entirely dismiss the nuts and bolts of understanding how abstracts like alpha and beta are used in the sphere. The default understanding goes something like this: those red pillars just hate on betas to build themselves up. Or some other version where the red pill becomes a Machiavellian free-for-all at the expense of other lesser men, quote-unquote. But the thing is, this is something else that's kind of lost in today's society. Like, us guys, we rip on each other relentlessly, yet we don't take it personally. I mean, the amount of times I've been called faggot, I was like, I don't give a shit. I say that word like 200 times a day. But, sometimes, on a rare occasion, an insult might actually get to us. And so, what do? Take that into heart, and we improve on it. We improve on that supposed flaw. That's what us guys typically do. But let's see. But us guys ripping on each other can actually be a form of motivation too. It's just like, hey, you got jelly on your belly. Let's try and fix it. And it's like I'm not fat. It's like, and then they just start working out like crazy, burning it all off. And once again, we're not talking about like, Nikocado size here. But, if you're a little bit too on the overweight side, it's like, yeah, you might want to work on that. I'm just going to take a shot before we continue. Okay. It's either this abstraction of alpha and beta are reduced to absurd binary interpretations, alpha becoming ridiculous douchebag parodies, and betas become pathetic, simpering doormats for the world to tread upon. But that is kind of the case. Like, you don't want to be a beta male. There's a reason why it has the connotation that it does. And what most people would do, what most guys would do in like the past is actually better themselves. Shocking, I know, but in today's society, where things are way too cushiony and comfortable, it's like, yeah, you're not really given that opportunity. It's also discouraged. So we just have a bunch of beta males in society. It is what it is. In either case, the purpose of reducing these abstracts as such is an effort in dismissing the uncomfortable as well as evidently observable qualities and truths of the intersexual environment that plays out around us. For the record, I think it's important for red pill men to remain as objective and disinvested from making qualitative assumptions about what constitutes the alpha or beta abstractions. I don't hate, pity, or resent beta men. Oh, I certainly hate beta males. I was one myself. I hate my past self for basically being a doormat. And so I try to do whatever I can to not be a doormat. But I also, you know, in that same coin, it's like I also, you know, try not to be an asshole about it. I have my boundaries and I stick to them. Everybody, man or woman, should have boundaries. Especially men. Okay. Neither do I embrace the idea that alpha archetypes as necessarily positive or negative. For the moment, however, I'm going to focus on beta men. The presumption of control. As mentioned above, one of the primary dismissals men have when they encounter red pill thought is to blow it off because it's all just a bunch of hating on betas. And that presumption comes only if a guy is willing to consider the abstracts of alpha and beta in the first place. Most simply don't want to recognize specific statues of or defining characteristics of men or women. And just fall back on the all is relative, all is subjective mindset they've been conditioned to. People are people. There is no human nature. There is no male or female nature. Yeah, I could agree with you there, Tomasi. Like, that is a genuine problem that, you know, and it's mainly because of the boomers. Let's be real. It's the fucking boomers that are, you know, basically propagandized with that thought. Propagandized us with that thought, so to speak. There is such thing as human nature. There is such thing as male and female nature, and we have not evolved beyond that. It's going to take us a long time for us to do that. I don't know. Maybe if we go to Mars or something cool like that, maybe things might change. Night Llama says, I think everyone that is very jacked in the gym was bullied or had some other BS happen to them. It was never the high school jock that stayed jacked. Yeah, you got a point there, Llama. Like, I actually hated the gym when I was like in high school and all that, and now I fucking love it. The gym is amazing. Like, it really does improve your life in so many aspects. It builds character. Not only does it build muscle, but it also builds character. Let's see. But for the guy who at least accepts the idea of human natures, I can certainly understand the reservation of men whose identities were conditioned to be a more beta role. Well, like yours truly. I'm not anymore, thank goodness. There's not much positive to characterize a beta mindset with beyond the utility that conditioning serves to society and women's sexual strategy. Betas do in fact get laid. The terms on which and how their sexuality fits their utilitarian role in women's hypergamous plan is the real question. Yeah. There's a term for that already. It's called dual mating strategy. Alpha fucks, beta bucks. That's another way to put it. And even then, you know, the beta does get laid like once a month, once a week at best. But basically, it's not out of actual interest for him. It's more or less out of, duty. And, to quote Better Bachelor again, duty sex is not fun. I was recently asked if I thought beta men employing betas don't have game. That's an oxymoron there, Rolo. Isn't that's part of the point, is that They don't have game. They think game is giving a woman flowers on the first date. Was a successful strategy in the larger scheme of things. If success meant that beta game will get him laid, I'm incredulous about it. The presumption is that the beta man employing that game in some way directing and controlling the outcome of his success. I'd argue that what he believes is game is simply his utility to a woman coming into an optimal window for her necessity of him. So his strategy relies success. So is his strategy really successful, or is he simply the best plan B a woman has available to her, while her own sexual market value decays to the point where he's her best option? Is that really beta control, or is he simply situationally useful? That's what happens at the end of the day. Like, he is the best that she's gonna get when she's 30 years of age. But if that guy, applies himself to his work, goes to the gym, this, that, and the other thing for self-improvement, it's like, that guy ain't gonna go for the 30-year-old hag. He's gonna go for the 20-year-olds, the young 20-somethings in, I don't know, the Philippines or Eastern Europe that are still virgins. That's where he's gonna be going to. He ain't gonna be dealing with 30-year-old ninnies. I keep using that word a lot too tonight. Anyways, I think a lot of what guys new to the manosphere perceive as beta hate is simply the presumption of control they believe they should be able to exercise with women, after having been told for the better part of their lives that the more accommodating and identifying with women they are will lead to them being accepted by women. It's a presumption that this is some means of socially acceptable control for them. It's very galling to have men place fault on a guy for things he knows are out of his control. I fully understand the angst and frustration that leads to things like beta uprising. Oh my goodness. He used that unironically. Holy shit. That's actually fucking funny. And men frustrated with intersexual dynamics taking it out on the whole of society before they swallow a bullet themselves. I think this is referring to the whole Elliot Rodger situation. Yep. That whole thing. It essentially amounts to victim blaming. Betas are hapless and hopeless. Mules brainwashed and indentured to serve not just the feminist imperative, which would be galling enough, but also have the pains and strivings that society demands of them to be rewarded with women's genuine intimate interest, focusing on alpha men. That sucks. Yeah, it does, Rolo, but and then again, this was written in 2015, so things have very much changed since then. There are more men who are waking up to the fact that, being an ally isn't a good thing. Don't be a feminist ally. Women actually hate that. They really do hate that. Now, also, don't just not be an ally just so you could get some poon. Try that strategy, but now it's like I actually firmly believe in the principles that I have. I mean, first and foremost, repeal that 19th Amendment. Who buys this when you could legit the same information for free online? Dude, you are right. And this is one of his free articles, too. So, I wouldn't... Look, if you're buying a Pickup Roach's course, it's already over for you. It's just the dead fucking truth. You're just going to be said a bunch of shit that you could find for free online from infinitely better sources like Undead Chronic and the Warband. You're just going to be told a bunch of buzzwords. Because honestly, that's what a lot of the pickup stuff is. It's just a bunch of buzzwords. It's just... I would say it's a little less annoying than the woke buzzwords, so to speak. But they're still buzzwords. Just gonna get me some water. Pickup artistries telling a guy it's on him as to why women are boring to him or uninterested in him sexually only reinforces that angst. It's like a pastor telling you that if only you'd prayed harder or more earnestly, God would have cured your mom of cancer. So they hate the alpha. They hate the pickup artist. They hate the hot chicks with douchebags. God, why have that in one word? But they also hate women. But they also hate women and the socio-biological mechanisms of the positions they're placed in. It presumes a control that he believes he never had, nor ever will. Interesting. You know, despite all the shit that I might give, you know, the average femoid on, you know, on this channel, surprisingly enough, I actually don't hate women. I really don't. I'm like Better Bachelor. I know I keep referring to him a lot, but, you know, he makes good videos. I think I, and a lot of other guys, we want women to improve. We don't like the way that women are acting. We don't like the things that women watch. We just don't. So there comes a point where the beta wants something, sometimes adamantly insists for his own burden of performance to be replaced, or at least handicapped by a woman meeting him halfway. This one is rooted in his blue pill presumption that people are people. Yep, boomer bullshit. And the equalist notion that women's hindbrains can willingly be overwritten when it comes to arousal, attraction, and intersexual dynamics. Again, if there's no human nature, it should stand to reason that a woman could potentially choose that beta for all the reasons he's been conditioned to believe she should choose him for. And so I think a lot of that stuff, it's like, oh, you know, I'm such a gentleman, you know, I know how to treat her right, you know, I'd give her flowers after the third or fourth date. It's basically, you know, the Disney shit. Night Llama says, you will find the one, boomer that got divorced. That's a good one. That's the thing. I don't believe there is such a thing as the one. I think there's just good enough. I think that's human nature. It's like, you know, he or she is good enough. And I say that because, you know, at least if you know, do it with a virgin chick or something. Yeah, that bond's gonna last a while. But you gotta be a good man. You actually gotta be a good man to boot. And by good man, you gotta be strong, stoic, this, that, and the other. Let's see, I think there's a little comment on Discord. Never mind. Okay, where were we? Again, if there were no human nature, it should stand to reason that a woman could potentially... okay, yeah, we already read that. If there is a female nature, and that nature follows with some degree of consistency, red pill aware truths, then his frustrations are founded on his own lack. But these guys aren't blue pill oblivious men. They are red pill aware. They see the truth, and that leads to their awakening to the cruel reality that they're in. So when these guys are put into that place, they have a few choices: snap and take themselves out as many others as they go. So Legion of Men calls this phenomena the dark side of the pill, you know, the black pill. Can't exactly say black pill on YouTube, so he says dark side of the pill. So snap and take themselves and as many others as they can. Yeah, that's part of the darkest side of the pill. Because there are some very little, I shouldn't even say some, there are very little truths in the black pill, but also, black pill light is basically just like, you know, red pill in a way. It's weird. Go isolationist MGTOW and retreat to a minimal societal investment. Go MRA and impotently try to enact legislation that they think will even the social playing field. You mean field? Dude, come on, Rolo, that's laziness. From the top down. Or they could take a realistic look at themselves and reinvent themselves to better play the game. So that reinvent part, like, that's basically what most people do, myself included. You basically rebuild yourself so you can understand the game a bit better. The burden of fault. Let's see, I think this might be... Yeah, we're almost done with the article here. The burden of fault. Whether it's fair or not, by virtue of being a man, you're going to have to accept your burden of performance, obviously. I mean, whatever that means. That burden includes your liability of accepting fault, even for things that aren't your fault per se. It's not your fault that you were born and raised into a feminine primary social order that conditioned you to be an accommodating utility for, but irrespective of that, you will be held liable for not complying with or resisting it. You are a man. You will always be accountable. I mean, that's true to an extent. Accountability is an important skill to have, and the thing is, that's something else feminism is trying to eliminate. It just is. Whether it is through something like the fat acceptance movement, or, just the amount of simps that are in society. That's something to think about. Is that fucked up? Yes. So with that in mind, it is up to you as a red pill aware man to decide for yourself what is worth your investment. Yes, mon frere, women can be amazing, interesting, vivacious, and fun. I think I used the wrong word. But they can also be fucked up and stupid and absolutely not worth your time, money, and effort. Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of modern women these days they're just not worth the time. They're not worth your money, not worth your investment. So the kind of woman that is worth your investment, if you're actually looking to like make a family and all that, they're overseas. And I'm not even exactly trying to show for the passport bro lifestyle. I don't think I'd exactly be able to do that, considering, I'm getting, master's in librarianship and all that. It's a good degree. Jobs do pay surprisingly well. There is a shortage of librarians, but I don't think I'd be going overseas working as a remote librarian anytime soon. The time just isn't here yet, so to speak. But if you are still living here in the West, go out to the countryside, find a good woman there. The most important thing you should do, try not to, be a sex pest like Russell Greer, so to speak. If you don't know who he is, he's an infamous lolcow. One of my favorites, actually. Because seriously, that guy is a fucking sex pest. It isn't your fault they are the way they are, but it is your fault for investing yourself in something you're not enjoying or profiting by. With all the railing against women not being worthwhile, one would think that would prompt these men to being indifferent to women, but they aren't. Even the most ardent MGTOW are hapless beta red pill Even the most ardent MGTOW and hapless beta red pill denier still wants women. He simply wants her in his context and his frame on his terms, and to genuinely want to be a part of all that. There's nothing wrong with this desire. This is precisely why I advise, with regards to frame control, just keeping frame, not losing yourself. But the disconnect comes in how men go about establishing a frame women want to be a part of. Yeah, Rolo and I's view on frame is very different. Very different. Get out there. I may debate with other men's takes on the importance of looks play to a man's overall game and appeal, but one thing I won't argue with is the importance of men putting themselves out there and into situations that will most certainly take them out of their comfort zones. Yeah, but there's better ways to do that than to try to ask out every woman that he sees. Because, that could end up in an allegation or two. But yeah, if you want to do that, go camping, learn MMA, learn some martial art, do something like that. And, once you have some interesting experiences, yeah. Then you could start talking to women, and you'll probably come off as a little bit more confident. I don't know. I like talking to chicks about MMA. It actually makes them interested. It's like, oh, you're learning jujitsu? You know Muay Thai? For almost 20 years, I've made a living doing exactly this. I've worked in gaming, liquor, and brand development ventures that put me into venues that range from goth, alternative, hipster sets to LGHD TV events to mixing with men and women who have the type of wealth that most people don't even know exists. My career, family, and personal life has been my red pill classroom and laboratory for all of this. And in all these contexts, I have found myself a way to enjoy myself and or learn from these interactions. One reason why I will never look to writing red pill books as a career option is because it would remove me from the very source of my observations. You basically are doing that. That's kind of what your career is now, Rolo. Living it is the only way to keep learning from it. On my own time, I would very likely prefer to lock myself in my studio and paint or sculpt, or to create something new to work into a brand. Often to the exclusion of my wife and family, and the many friends I have. I'm a very social guy, but I would probably not feel compelled to head off to a nightclub or any of the events I involve myself in professionally on a weekly basis. When I'm doing a promo, I know I'm not going to hook up, so I find... Oh, okay, so you have a wife, and at the time, you're... Okay, this is a fucking mess. This ending section is very much a fucking mess. It's like you're going out to nightclubs and are you hooking up with random women even though you're married? Yeah, I'm not a fan of like the fucking fresh and fit people who are like, oh, but it's okay if a man cheats for whatever bullshit reason there is. It's like, no, there is no excuse to cheat. That goes for both men and women. It is what it is. Where are we? That can't be it. So why fucking do it, right? I make money at it, and it beats living in a cubicle, but I'd much rather be creating new things, new brands, new ideas than interacting with half-buzzed hipsters who think they're too cool to be there, or obnoxious 40-something divorcees sampling quote-unquote sampling vodka and hoping to drink their spinsterhood away. I'm just gonna take a sip of water or something. I enjoy what I do, and it helps me help other guys. I put myself out in the wild because it's part of my jobs. But I honestly enjoy interacting with even the dullards and the drunks. It's what I invest myself in. That may sound like torture to you, but it's really contextual. I have friends I've made at underground goth events who would blanch at the thought of what I do at a golf tournament. I'm not saying you need to be a social chameleon. In a way, you kind of are saying that, Rolo. But the thing is, guys, fellas, you just need to have... Sorry, my headset turned off. You just need to have some strong guy friends. That's all you really need to have. A group of people you could do activities with, this, that, and the other. And my recommendation for meeting those people, if you do value like physical fitness and all that, like martial arts, take adult martial arts classes. You will learn a lot, and you will meet a lot of people, and not only will you be training with each other, but who knows, you might also actually hang out with each other. By the time I start, taking, proper jiu-jitsu classes during grad school and all that, like, I'm certainly going to try and, see if I could, hang out with some of the guys that I meet, like, go for a drink or two. All that stuff. That's how you make good, strong friends. But understand that your social education will always be a domain dependent if you stay in the setting that makes you the most comfortable. Don't hate the beta. We're at the very end of this. As I mentioned earlier, I don't hate beta men. Well, Scurvy does. for a long time in my blue pill past, I was one of them. As we all were, Rolo. The thing is, you know, some of us do snap out of it. A lot of us do not. Some of us even go back to the blue pill, i.e., you know, Hunter cries alone. Or Hunter Abalone. That's you know, that's his actual name. And I can fully understand the want to mischaracterize an alpha mindset in order to preserve a sense of self-worth. Beta men don't want pity or disgust, but rather they need a tough, harsh awakening to the reality of the situation they find themselves in. But how do you go about that if you're not harsh? Sometimes us guys, we need to be harsh to one another if we want what's best for our friend. Night Llama says, my god, he's repeating the same shit in his book or whatever it is. Yeah, basically, he says a lot of this shit in The Rational Male, you know, all those books. It's the same shit. And once again, you could find all this info for free. There are better... Sheffo says, drink the skooma. Anyways. Where was I? Oh, I know where. I don't think beta men are hopeless, but they will remain in a state of hopelessness so long as they subscribe to a want of making things easier for their condition, rather than improving themselves to better play the game. Yeah, he's just repeating himself here. There's no need to read the end of this. It's just the same shit. Drink the femboy estrogen latte now! 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 Oh man, I've not made a single Dreamable reference all night, so might as well just translate some of this article into Thug. As mentioned earlier, I don't hate beta men. They don't know how to bus because they're not bussing. Gonna hit a blunt to make Tomato Head funny. But we're finished here, Night Llama. I'm about to nut. I'm about to blow. So that's 2 Dreamable references out of 5. We're gonna make the quota, guys. Don't worry. Alrighty. So I'm actually going to take a quick little break. God damn it! Don't worry, man. You could still hit your blunt. I'm sure, you know, Chronic would very much appreciate that, because we're gonna take a listen to, you know, Ribby soon, and Chronic is joining on the call. But alrighty, I'll be right back. So yeah. Just enjoy the music. I'll be back. Okie dokie, I am back. Let's see. So, before we continue to our next segment, I do have a little bit of a spiel, so to speak. I do think the epidemic of beta men, as we went over, kind of. On one hand, it is getting better, but I also think it's getting worse too. Because on one hand, you do have guys that they do want to self-improve for one reason or another. But at the same time, you also have quite a bit of pushback from guys who are just like, oh, I'm okay with just staying the same and mediocre. It's mainly those guys that I'm more concerned about. It's like, seriously, you don't see the value in, living a long life? We went over some fat acceptance shit earlier today. So, yeah, especially for the really fat people out there, it's like, you don't see any value in your life aside from eating yourself into an early grave. That's fucking sad. Or, hell, for the OnlyFans sims. There's like that guy who gave like $400,000 to an OnlyFans whore. 400,000. Why did I say 40,000? It was 400,000. Get it right, Scurvy. Like, that guy has no self-respect whatsoever. She wasn't gonna do him. She literally just said, hey, thanks for the money. You get nothing in return. And now the guy has a restraining order for a woman who never liked him in the first place. Let's see. Before we get on to our last video of the night. Sit on the black leather chair like Elfeld and iDubbbz do. Ha! Yeah, beta men should do that. Anyways. So, we have a video here from Ribby the Party Frog. It's a VOD from his party pond. Good streams. Go take a look at them when they're online. But we have Lana Rhoades is no longer retired. If you know who Lana Rhoades is, well, yeah, I think most people know, especially if you're online. The same goes for, someone like Riley Reid. You don't even need to watch Korn and all that to know who either of those two women are. But let's get started.
So I'm here with the gang, and we got big news. That's right. Retired Korn star Lana Rhoades. That's right. She had a mystery mutt baby last year. Couldn't say who the daddy was. Some NBA player. Couldn't really pat it down. The guy wanted nothing to do with her anyway. She's announced big news. She's back. That's right. Former Korn star Lana Rhoades announces adult content comeback. I'm sure she's had a lot of come on her back on OnlyFans.
God damn it, Ribby. God fucking damn it. We're only like 30 seconds in the video. Come on. God damn it. Oh, comeback. Yeah, that's something else. Yep. Really is. Who the fuck is paying for her OnlyFans? The wall hit her like a truck. Lana Rhoades? Yeah, I could kind of agree with that. Make the special announcement, Marty. This summer, Tales from the Cuck. Chance Wilkins is releasing soon. Well, I mean, I am technically a co-writer on it. Kind of. But yeah. Basically, Sheffo and I, Micropenis Maniac here on YouTube, he should really change his name to El Sheffo so it's more consistent. Anyways. He and I were co-writing a new fan fiction. So, when it's done, well, actually, it's more like I'm giving him some ideas. So there's that. But it's gonna be coming soon, and it's gonna be just as cursed. But one thing's for sure, it's gonna make you go, I'm about to blow, and I'm about to nut. Yeah, we're quite good at writing curse shit, to tell you the truth. Give the audience details, Marty. Well, that would ruin the surprise. I mean, aside from the main cast of Cyrax and Bridget, and that's basically it. Anyways, let's continue.
Fans.
Come
That's
back.
right. My goodness. So, not a great picture of her, but I mean, I guess she is like getting up there now.
Hey. Okay, so Lana is 27. Holy shit. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how I feel about one of the most notorious corn stars being like 4 years older than me. Oh my goodness. And next year it's going to be 3.
So, what do you guys think of this? She basically, it says former corn star, but yet she's on OnlyFans. So that's like, I'm not a race car driver anymore, but I still drive cars around at 90 miles an hour.
Dimension, here we go.
Like,
being a former corn star is like being a former Fed. You never really retire.
You never really retire. And also, dude, she's on OF, so it's like, she's back in the game, you know? I mean, she's doing what she's doing. It's just not for a producer in a large company. It's just for the site, basically. So,
oh god, this stream's gonna get age restricted, isn't it?
Former corn actress is making a return to the world of erotic content. This time on OF. Her real name, Amara Maple.
Amara Maple. I don't recall Amara exactly being a quote-unquote white name or whatever. I mean, I don't know. Maybe she's from another country, but also, is it me or do the Tatas look fake?
That sounds like a stripper name. She was doomed from the start. Amara?
Doomed
Have you guys
the
ever
start.
met an Amara? I don't know, man.
No, I actually have.
But literally, when it comes to a chick like Lana, right? She, aside from the whole doom from the start joke, basically, there's a whole bunch of other Thots who are just like her, had way too many kids out of wedlock, and just made fuck up after fuck up. But society praises them. Society praises them for their fuck ups. It's really weird. Like, oh my goodness. Night Llama says, the collabs once that kid hits 14. Nah, oh my goodness. Yeah, I feel bad for the kids who are born from these debaucherous whores. Like, seriously. They're gonna make the title become a reality. Oh, those poor kids.
I've dated black chicks.
Yeah, Amara Maple. Well, and she was born on.
Wait, is that her new name, Amara Maple?
That's her real name, dude. Lana Rhodes is her.
Dude, she was
Spawn.
due from the start, man.
That's what I'm saying. Amara Maple, dude. That sounds like a stripper name. Am I wrong? Like,
probably
You
came
gotta
from a
make
single
sure for the
mom.
thumbnails of these vids to put like safe for work, sexy pic. Although I guess we can't really tell whenever they'll delete your channel for nudity, but you might as well get.
dude, I
something
could put out whatever I want at this point. I'm under 10K. I'm under the radar, man. But anyway, she was born on September 6, 1996, in Chicago, Illinois. As my boy Chronic says, if you're born in 19 anything, you're too old for me.
Exactly. Well, then again, Scurvy, born in 2000, but it's like, yeah, 19 anything, yeah, too old. Too old for me. I agree with the warband here. How fake you want your tatas to be? Yes, I'm too old for Poppy Chronic. Ah! Damn it, Sheffo. Yeah, Sheffo, you should add Chronic and the Co. into Tales of the Cuck Part 2. Yeah, that would be that actually would be really funny.
If you remember the tower standing, that's too old. But anyway, so let's see.
Oh my
She's
God.
there. She got the little Braxton. That kid has a big head, bro. That kid's head is as big as hers. God damn.
Damn.
Wait, let me see it.
Dude, he's a big baby, dude. He's just like, she's not even supporting the baby's neck. Now, Chronic, I'm not an expert here. I know you're a biologist. Aren't you supposed to support a baby's neck when you hold it? She's
She's probably old enough. It doesn't have to be.
Yeah, he's literally
It's like
just
young
looking.
it's like young babies.
The baby's not. He's avoiding eye contact because he doesn't want the shame.
Even he's ashamed.
He
of her.
doesn't want.
Like
That's the thing. It's like, it's the shame. It's the shame that, you know, thoughts are trying to just avoid. They don't want. Yeah, and once again, it's the beta males who are like, oh no, you're good, queen. I'm not gonna shame you. But literally, thoughts deserve shame. They really do.
how do you let you're with your child and look at the picture on the left? How do you let pictures of like that get taken of you while you're with your child?
Dude, because she's still on OF, man. She retired, but she never retired. All these corn stars, that's what I'm saying, Chronic. If OF didn't exist, they'd be doomed because they don't get royalties from the corn. So unless they were pulling in new money from simps on OnlyFans, they'd have nothing, dude. They'd have to get a real job. They can't do that. They have no marketable skills whatsoever. So,
Well, the only marketable skills a thought has is to rise to the top suddenly because she's giving the owner or CEO of the company top. And if she's pretty enough, it's like, yeah, I'll give you a position as my secretary, said Boomer McGoystein.
yeah, dude, OF. I remember, you remember 2 years ago when OF is like, we're getting rid of adult content, and then they just double backed on it, and all the OF chicks were like freaking out. They're, oh my god, I'm gonna be doomed. I'm gonna have no money, and then that just went away. Yeah, dude, if that actually in a parallel universe where they actually stuck to their guns and no longer platformed the sleuths, they'd be doomed. They'd have to be getting in line for like Starbucks barista jobs. They'd have to get a real.
And yeah, that actually, but the thing is, that content is always going to be out there. There are people who have leaked OnlyFans shit really since it started. And those chicks are never going to be able to get jobs. I don't think even a Starbucks I don't think Starbucks would want someone like Lana to be a barista. Reputation is pretty important even to goy slop businesses.
Real job. But anyway, let's see here. So Rhodes gained fame as one of the most sought-after actresses in the film industry, despite her relatively short tenure from 2016 to 2018. Well, it's funny. 2 years to throw her life away. This chick did a lot of content, took a lot of sausage in 2 years. You know, relatively not a long time if she's 27, 2 years out of her life, but did a lot of damage in a very short amount of time.
Ribby, I think that's a bit of an understatement there. Like think about it. How often do these chicks get fucked? Like when it comes to doing scenes and all that. How often does that happen? Like I think that happens quite a bit. So that's a lot of sausage in a single day. And that means, she's incapable of pair bonding.
So, after taking a break from the adult content industry several years ago, primarily due to her pregnancy and becoming a mother to her son Milo, Lana Rhodes is ready to re-enter the scene. Oh my god, this poor kid, dude. I mean, they didn't mention in the last story, Riley Reid is a kid too. Maybe the two kids will be friends. Be like, yeah.
Basically, it's oh yeah, I forgot. Riley Reid has a kid too. It's like, it's always the kids of these corn stars. They are the ones who are gonna suffer the most. I really do feel bad for them. But hey, maybe there might be a website for hey, my mom was a corn star, so let's connect and we could be friends. There might be a website like that in the near future. Corn.
The two sons,
Corn,
it'll be like the
betrayer.
only person that understands. Be like, your mom's a famous lore on the internet too? It's like, yeah, man, me too. Like
Well, that's the thing. It's going to be the new freaking AA. Is like, hi, I'm Bill, and my mother does OnlyFans.
Yeah,
Hi,
no.
Bill.
Yeah, seriously. It's gotten ridiculous, bro. I really do feel bad for the kids because think about it,
Riley
man.
Reed recently tweeted out, she's like, does anybody know any good private schools where my kid won't be bullied for my career?
Do the private
God
schools have
damn it.
Wi-Fi? Yes. Okay, you're doomed. You're done.
That's the thing. Thots do not understand the consequences of their actions, and they don't care. It's only, when the kid starts getting to be of age for, school and all that, it's like, any private schools where, I won't be shamed for taking schlong all day, every day. There's the phrase of, somebody dug their own grave, right? Riley Reed, Lana Rhodes, you dug the grave for your own kids as soon as they were born. That thing was dug out fully. And you also prepared the casket as well.
You're done.
Yeah, it's called homeschool.
Oh, dude, if you're homeschooled by Riley Reed, man, you're gonna end up as dumb as she is. You're doomed. But anyway,
yes.
So Lana's back on OF. She shared this news in an interview hosted by blah blah blah. I'm not reading that name. Radajowski.
Emily Radikowski.
Rhodes emphasized the importance of her career and announced her plans to relaunch her OF account the following week. That's right. She's back to harness fresh simp blood. She expressed her comfort working with the team around her. Do you need a team? Why do you need a team to spread your cheeks and take a picture?
Let's see. Night Llama says private schools. The kids are even worse with the bullying, since everyone knows everyone due to the parents having money. Yeah, that's true.
Why she needs a team, bro.
Oh, no. It takes a village. Yeah, she takes the whole football team.
It takes, the phrase, it takes a village to raise a child, right? But it also takes a village to fill the whole of Lana Rhodes.
Perspective. While Rhodes had transitioned, whoa, don't say that. She didn't transition to becoming an influencer, which brought her greater financial success. She has returned to the adult content industry with a new perspective. Now that I'm a mom, I'm going to try being more diverse in the schlongs I take. She clarified that her work may involve erotic situations, but nudity is not obligatory. So what is that? She's going to be like deep throating banana, but with her clothes on? Like, what is that? What is that?
No one's paying for that. Like, she had another thing where she's tweeted out, she's like, anybody that donates to Gaza, I'll send a nude to. And the guy, like the top response, has done like millions of views. So this random black guy was just like, already seen you get teened by 3 elephant schlongs. What the F am I supposed to do with a selfie?
My God damn it, Chronic. Come on. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't know why corn stars are so insistent on being involved in this conflict when they're not needed.
Yeah, selfie means nothing, as if that has any value whatsoever. In her podcast interview, Lana also discussed the therapeutic nature of artistic expression. Dude, this chick thinks she's an art. Dude, I do cartoons, I do animation. I'm not a prude about art, but taking schlong on camera does not make you an artist, okay?
It does not. It just doesn't, taking schlong and going, oh my God, I'm at a bus. No. That's not art. The shit Dreamy Bull does is art. Because, Dreamy Bull is like, I'm about to nut. I'm about to blow. That shit's actually funny. But, Lana Rhodes taking cream pies from porn chads. Yeah, that's not funny.
I'm more of an artist
my God, I'm at a
right
bus.
now, and all I'm doing is AI generating Nako mates. #NNN.
Yeah, dude, seriously.
Nako Nun November.
There's a lot of things you could say are an art form.
It's
like,
Neko Nun.
Art,
Great.
music,
rolling
cooking,
a joint.
rolling the perfect joint. But dude, getting down on camera is not an art form. Come on, bro. So, yeah, she said
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to AI art and all that, I mean, Gray is actually pretty good at that shit. Like he actually knows a thing or two about like AI prompts. Same with channel mod Shinobi one as well. He's pretty good at that too. But most people are not good at that. So there's that.
The therapeutic artistic expression, whether it involves making clothes, modeling, directing, or acting. Yeah, she's quite the actor, yeah. Her artistic endeavors allow her to explore creative and beautiful aspects of her personality. There's nothing beautiful about this chick. This is the kind of chick...
Personality, huh? You know what else starts with P? Yeah, you know. You know what it is. You know what it is, boys. You know what it is. That's all corn stars are good for. No crumb November is harder. Had to have the patience of a saint to not eat those sourdough bread bites. Good
It's
shit,
like
chef.
nice on the inside. It's like you open a candy. Like it's like a nice candy. It looks delicious. You open the wrapper and it's just like dog crap. You're like, oh, it looks good on the outside, but it's trash on the inside. Basically her. Her artistic endeavors allow her to explore creative, beautiful aspects. Nobility Lana Rhoades recently stated the music video for the song TQM by the group which has garnered 92 million views since it was released on May 19th. You know, it's funny.
What?
92 million views. I've never heard of these artists. I haven't heard of like her doing anything relevant. I haven't heard of any of this. So her career began in 2016 when she was 20. Despite her brief involvement, she became one of the...
So one thing I noticed in both the Rollo article and this article, they repeat themselves a lot. Just goes to show they're not really reporting on anything.
Most popular and recognized actresses. Her success was attributed to her physical appearance and acting style. Okay, it was not her acting style. It's never...
Acting style? Oh man, that's I think Lana Rhoades, comparing Lana Rhoades to Dreamy Bowl, Lana Rhoades just has the whole put it back in thing, like that meme, but Dreamy Bowl has a lot. He has, I'm about to nut, I'm about to blow, I'm about to come, so on and so forth. He has a bunch. That's why he's a meme. It's because of the shit that he says when he's about to bust. Bus. Oh my god, I'm at a bus. Shefa says, oh wait, I already read that. My bad. Let's continue. We got like 2 minutes left.
Never about the acting style. It's a physical appearance. Okay? Let's be real. Earning her awards and nominations. Dude, unironically bragging about corn awards is probably the cringiest thing I've ever heard.
What?
You can have a grown man who's 30 bragging about his Boy Scout badges he earned, and I would find that less cringe than a grown woman bragging about corn awards. He's like, I won the best Deep Throat Award of 2018 out of all the suits and all the videos. I was voted the best. It's like, oh my god, dude, this is pathetic.
God.
In 2019, Lana announced her retirement from the adult content industry, but has now chosen to return, this time only on the OF platform. Is making a comeback, like I said, very much emphasis on comeback.
Comeback.
What do you guys think of that one? Didn't take long. It was only a few years, pretty much.
We all expected it. We all knew she's going to be back. All these chicks, like the trifecta of slurs, Khalifa, Reed, Rhodes, they all had the same storyline. It's like, hey, Ribby, there's a new Pokemon game. Bet you $100 you can't guess the storyline.
You're going to catch a bunch of Pokemon and go to gyms? Oh, God, how do you know?
Go Elite Four and win it, and you're going to still be humble the entire time, and mom loves you. Okay, wow.
Oh, and there's going to be a crime syndicate with matching clothing that you're going to defeat through a series of
Team Rocket. Yeah.
That will ultimately culminate in challenging a legendary creature, which is somehow integral to their plans.
Yep. But, dude, it's all too...
I swear, because of the rise of OF, people who would have not been relevant for many years now now they get to make some sort of comeback. I'm not gonna say Ribby's joke here, but you get what I mean. You get what I mean. That's the thing. Let's wrap this up.
Predictable, like Chronic said, and Khalifa's coming up next. The trifecta, they take like a year off, maybe 2 years, realize they're spending amount of money that they don't make anymore, and they decide, oh, well, time to spread the cheeks on OF, which is why I'm saying, without OF, they would have nothing. Like, YouTube for me and Chronic and the whole gang is a hobby, but we have marketable skills and careers outside of that. But for these chicks, if OF didn't exist, they'd literally be doomed. So,
exactly. Like, I do YouTube as a hobby as well. I've not made a single cent from Cashapp / cash sign ScurvyRum. But shilling aside, it's like, I do this as a hobby. It's fun. Night Llama says, why don't dudes just go and buy the Guac 9000 for the streets instead of buying pictures? Honestly, like, I have no idea why. I think it probably has to do something with, like, you know, it's personal, you know, it feels personal. Even though other guys are getting the same shit, and probably some, you know, you're not even getting a response from the chick. You're getting a response from some faggot who's just like, you know, it's like, oh yeah, I would love to have your schlong in my pussy hole. Something cringy like that. I don't know. It's so fucking weird. But, anyways. Basically, we already did the regular cancellation for tonight. I kind of lost steam, not gonna lie, so to speak. I think I did plenty of ripping on both beta males and Thots tonight. It's a bit of a shorter stream, but also, let's see. I also want to give a link. I want to give you guys a link as well. So, fellas, go over to Saturn's stream. She's currently doing a 2K subscriber special. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys. I'll see you guys next week. I can't wait to talk about that new lolcow that I discovered. So I hope that one will get a bit more views than the stream tonight. But other than that, it was a good time. Got to see some familiar faces. And with that, thank y'all for watching. Like and subscribe if you want to. See you over at Saturn's stream.